I think we give it like just 2 minutes for people to come in. I'll put a quick thing on after hour too, and then we'll just get into it. I'm thinking we go for about 30 minutes or so. I want to get your
Sounds
takes and
good.
everything. I want to know what you're looking at. Uh, I'll share what I'm looking at, and it'll be fun. I'm thinking
Yeah.
we should do a big show sometime. We'll get all the 0 hour guys on there. Tron, we'll get Ember, we'll get Sunny, and of course,
I would love to talk to some of the, yeah, I haven't gotten to talk to Ember yet. That would be fun. I mean, I was on After Hour. I did quite a bit, but that would be whole lot of fun.
oh yeah, he's got some great
I'm gonna
insights.
go
I'm
fill up with
looking
that
at some of his
real
plays here at OSS.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
And jumping back. Yeah.
I was just putting the after hour post on there. All right.
I'm so torn how to feel about that. I miss it at the same time. It has been so much less stressful not having that app installed for me. So.
Not having after hour?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I took it too seriously, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good app. That's where I got my start. I know you became really popular on there, but I feel like it's not what it was, 5, 6 months ago, maybe when I was really, really diligently posting. Now I'm doing a lot more of the work on Substack and X and Discord, just because I don't know. I feel like the app wasn't getting any updates or anything. It was kind of the community. There's some great, great, great people on there. A lot of great people, but just a few that they like drama and they don't seem to invest at all.
Yeah, drama gets clicks, though, doesn't it?
Sometimes I feel like money gets clicks.
Yeah.
Big greed gets clicks on that.
Well, it's a good thing it does because I'd probably be screwed. Probably not drama enough. I would probably not be a good casting for a TV show or anything. So
Well, that'd be fun. A little after hour reality show.
there you go. Yeah, I don't think I'd make the cut though. I am not drama enough. So
That's good. That's good marketing, honestly. I mean, we're all business here, so let's get into the fund. I want to hear because I know I have the gem vault, you have the fund. I run specific 6 equities in there right now.
yeah,
And I know, you have some of the same, but then you add some ones you like, some you don't. I like that customizable nature. So I just want to know what you're running with right now, which stocks you're looking at this week, late February, and what you think's going to happen here, maybe with like crypto and things over the next couple months.
yeah. I think crypto. I do think it's going to slowly make a comeback here. I mean, when you really look at the underlying, it's showing the most strength. Among certainly against any of the indexes right now. Yeah, I mean, for the fun, I mean, you're right, because like obviously I love the Nautis, and I think RR was one of the wheels we got into. So but a lot of those were just while I like the companies and I've traded them before, I you really try and take some emotion out of it and use it data driven in order to make my decisions. And RR kept coming up, and it's still obviously dropped since I got assigned on it, but it's still a great company, still a great stock, and really among robotics companies in America, at least they're making money. Like I've heard some complaints before, people saying, there's some of their knockoff products and they're not, this, that, and the other thing. But you know what? They are making money. That's not easy to do in robotics or in any new company right now. And that is what gets you to stage 2 and to be able to make more awesome robots and stuff. So I really like them for that. Just finding a way to make money right away. I mean, it's no different than a kid making a lemonade stand, right? It's at least they're doing something to make money in the meantime, even if it is novelty knockoff stuff. Yeah, so I really like them.
You're talking
I certainly
Rich
don't
Tech
know.
Robotics. Is that correct?
What's up? Yes, I am. Yep. Sorry.
Awesome. Okay, let's see if I can. They added that feature, so let me see if I can get the chart up here. Are you seeing that Rich Tech
Ooh,
Robotics?
yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. I was just covering this one in our week 8 strategy overview, but I mean, this thing is looking really juicy right now in terms
Yep.
of we are sitting at below the yearly support. I mean, anything under 3 on this, I think just looks fantastic for CSPs. Um, I know I wrote some leaps a little bit higher that were up like near 100, but now they're down. So I'm thinking about averaging down on those. Are you looking at like monthly CSPs right now, or what's your strategy for it?
Yeah, so obviously in the fund, it's a little bit um, smaller right now. So what I dedicated there, and I know you probably know this. I'll just kind of review for everybody. 50% of the money I make from the paid subs is what I'm putting into the fund there. So obviously, either through profits or through more subs, want that to grow. But I can only do one right now. Yeah, I've been writing some 250 CSPs there as well. I tend to do. It's really hard for me to explain, and it was always hard on After Hour too because I primarily do weeklies, yes, but when something is down to a level that I like it like this, like for Onatas, for example, on Friday, I wrote $10 CSPs every week for the next 6 weeks. Or it's 5 weeks, sorry, through April or March 20th, the 27th, sorry. So every Friday expiring. So I like spacing them out when it gets really low, but otherwise I do, wheel for weekly income too.
Yeah, I've noticed. I mean, I love the weeklies just because, at least for the wave strategy, what I'm doing when I'm, either selling a cash secured put when it's down 10% in a day or selling a covered call if it's up 10%. It's been fantastic just for, a lot of front loaded premium on highly volatile positions. I have noticed though, it can bite you too. I mean, if we're looking at Archer, I sold, I think, five cash secured puts one week, which put up like near $5,000 in collateral. And I mean, that thing just absolutely rocketed downward to a point that I'm even surprised. I mean, we had huge support on the last like 2 to 3 years around that $7 target. It just shot right through there. And these are all trend lines and things from previous weeks, but I mean, it is not respected. It's kind of just fallen more. But at this point, I mean, I'm just waiting to sell covered calls on it because I think we're going to come back. I mean, it is just beaten down. But I mean, the only thing propping it up really is guidance. Like, there's not much earnings there. I think EV is, out at least 5 years probably before that's going to be a really big thing.
Yeah. And
And
that's why like, I like Archer too. I like them more for the CEO and for the excitement, and that creates the volatility. So, I mean, for me, yeah, they're a cool company. And I like what they're doing. I do deep down think Joby is a better run company. Don't tell anybody. But Archer's fun as hell to trade, and you can't go wrong selling covered calls and puts on it, man. I mean, it's worked for over three years now, I think. So
Yeah, it's been in that rotation of kind of going between $7 and $14, and I mean it broke that trend recently with this downtrend that we saw. I was
yeah.
looking to, when I purchased Leaps, it was probably around $8 or so, and we were looking to, offload those. It had 15 strikes at around 14, but it disrespected that cycle. So we'll see. Oh yeah, if everyone watching as well could just hit that
But the
little.
really great thing about those, though, these small caps, though, like Spy's already, people are afraid of it going down. These are already so beaten down. Like if Spy's coming down, it's the bigger ones bringing it now, right? So like Archer, at least, I like it down here a lot. So
Yeah, and that's what was kind of was the consensus of my weekly uh preview for the last week of February here was a lot of things are in really nice positions. I mean, specifically RR, Amprius, which is AMPX, Ondas isn't bad, Archer for sure. Like, there's all these targets here for CSPs that I absolutely love. Covered calls, of course, not so much. We're only holding Rich Tech Robotics and Archer shares right now, so we're obviously waiting for quite a bit higher target or a large intraday push over the course of like 3 or so days, 10 to 20% before we sell anything. But I think there's a lot of good CSP targets if you have the collateral. I think the issue right now is not many people have cash. There's not much dry powder on the sidelines to put in for some of these tech plays that were beaten down.
yeah, I hope that there were some lessons in tuition learned this year. With some of that stuff, you gotta always have that dry powder. And that's yeah, especially playing stuff short on those. I love when my stocks are up 20% in a day. It's awesome, but there's nothing wrong with taking $20 of that profit that you're making and buying one put for, you know what I mean? They'll save my butt a lot, and then you have that dry powder. And all I was doing was shorting my own positions. So
And so were you short? Were you just buying puts on your own positions? Were you like buying calls on VIX, or what were you doing to hedge downside? So that's a
yeah, I mean,
really.
really, October through December, it was bull all the way down. As soon as bull broke 10 on the way down, I started buying 750 puts, and I would sell them on bull green days, buy more of them on, or sorry, other way around. I always get the other way around when you're going short. But I mean, yeah, it was really cool during that time. Hims caught me off guard. I lost on Hims. Galaxy, I was able to take a bit of profit when it jumped right before earnings, before crypto crash. So that one I'm still down on a bit, but I sold a pretty big covered call, kind of seeing that one coming back down. Hims blew me. So that one I definitely heard on. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, I do VIX too. I always have those in my bigger accounts just for protection. But I say by and large, it's just, when it's this volatile, I just don't see anything wrong with spending a few dollars and going short on one of my positions. It's just,
I think the
what's the
biggest
worst that can happen? The rest of my stuff keeps going up. I mean,
Yeah, no, I think one of the biggest misconceptions people see with like downloading After Hour or other apps for investing is they just assume you can get rich quick. But the real skill is being able to keep your capital and then keeping cash on the side and just actually doing nothing. Honestly, doing nothing is probably the best
the
skill.
hardest damn part of this. Yep.
Honestly, that's kind of why I've been doing
Still is
quite a
for
bit of
me. Years later, it is. Even for professionals, it's the hardest thing. I mean, I am more than guilty of over trading. Yeah, everybody is, man. How many times have you walked away and come back from, like, you forgot about trading? Oh, it's up. And yeah,
I mean, I'm able
absolutely
to
walking
see
away.
on this. I was out at about 1450 after the most recent pump. I mean, I was over $100,000 in realized gains, and I saw it go up to 1550, and I was like, oh man, I'm getting FOMO. I gotta get back in, and then I hopped back in with ONDL shares, which is the Ondas 2x leverage when it was probably around $13. It was $42 a share. I think is my cost basis on about 120,000, and that thing went down to 17. So, I don't think anyone's perfect. Even if you look at a ticker every day for over a year and you think you know everything, you don't. It's you got to
Yep.
learn from mistakes too. I mean, I should have
And
known.
the hymns with a Z would be my example there. Yep. I'm like, when that crashed below $2, I'm like, this can't go all the way down to $1, can it? No, sure she can.
I'm curious if we'll get a reverse stock split on that then. I mean, this I don't know.
Well,
Let's talk about him for a second. I'm not in it personally, but I know it's been popular, and I don't think anyone has seen it coming, like seen what happened coming.
yeah, not that. Yeah, it was. Yeah, but especially this one. This is the one that really burned me. I mean, at least. So, I mean, hymns. That 40 was it 45% day. Like, I have been doing this a long time. And I have never really seen it other than on the witching Fridays, right?
Yeah.
When dealers are hedging or whatever. Then I expect those kind of moves. I've never seen anything like that from pre-market to aftermarket on a single stock. That was something else.
So, are you bullish or bearish on their earnings here coming tomorrow?
I mean, I think their earnings are going to be fine. It's probably going to piss off the people who sold, because a lot of that stuff hasn't affected them up until now. They have obviously been spending a lot of capital marketing it, so I'm not sure their cost or their return on assets has been great lately, but I think their revenue is going to be fine. Their earnings may not be, but it's also not an area that I'm really, I guess, an expert in healthcare either. The tech side was more, what I understood. So.
Yes, I'm just pulling up their chart here on a different computer, but I mean their market cap now after this sell off is actually pretty tiny, but their earnings are going to be I think it's their estimated revenue is like what like 600 million or something, and their whole market cap's about 4 billion or something like that. Sorry, it's actually 3.55 billion. With earnings. I think it was somewhere around like 600 million. So absolutely ridiculous in terms of their market cap. So I'm wondering if that alone, even if they miss that slightly, I mean that is an absolutely ridiculous amount of quarterly earnings based on their market
Yeah,
cap alone.
well, where their stock price is at now, they're almost to where I think I had calculated to be around $13 if they had lost all of GPL1, and I don't think there's any chance they're even going to lose it all. Like, it's going to cost them a lot of money, the lawsuits and all this fun stuff, but they're going to be able to maintain some of it. Yeah, I mean, it's fair value now, or at least pretty close. Yeah, yeah. I mean, with like what you said with the revenue and earnings, yeah, it's getting to the point now where it's not just a discount; like we're actually at the where it's a fair price. So
Well, I think Tron might have touched on it last week, but They are honestly, in my opinion, more of a marketing company than they are one for like pharmaceuticals. Like their marketing team is absolutely insane. I see it everywhere. Everyone's heard of it. Everyone goes to it. I wouldn't be surprised if one of these bigger companies just buys them and then uses them as like their like mouthpiece for marketing. Like, I swear more people have heard of like Hims, let's say, and then they have like Eli Lilly, which is like the company that's
No,
creating a lot of
I
those.
and I agree with you, and not just the marketing, but like some of that logistics, right? Too, like what made Amazon so successful wasn't the books or the retail; it was they figured out the shipping and how to get, some of that I think Hims really figured out too, like how to do the teledoc stuff right, and to market it, not just market in the right way, but to keep people on after that too. The way that they do privacy and stuff like that is just. Yeah, they did a lot of that right. But I've never used them. I'm not a customer, so it's tough for me to say there too.
Yeah, we'd have to get Bob Dog on for that. He's one of the biggest hit right now. I know you're on an after hour, but he's been mentioning them all day.
Yeah, I
Yep.
mean, they look great for earnings down here, especially. I'm not buying calls or anything, but yeah, I certainly do like. I do have leaps for them still, so that's one of those things that I do too. As soon as I kind of I started playing bull on the way down. As soon as I stopped doing that, I guess, which is what I stopped doing about 3 weeks ago for bull, because after they got under six, like now it's getting a little bit ridiculous. I do have some 750 leaps now, so I'll kind of switch my leverage around the other way. That said, for Hims, I think it could take some time. So mine are 2027.
Oh, I did not realize. Wow, Weeble's under 6. Okay, I
Yeah.
haven't Weeble in a while, but I remember it was like 14 or something, wasn't it? And they were thinking it might make a push to 20. Oh,
Yeah, it was pretty well balancing between 1250 and 15 for quite a while. Yeah.
I guess
Yeah,
that's a lot of
yeah.
just right. I mean, Robinhood's down about half of what it was, what it felt a few months ago, like $150.
Yeah, figure two. That's one that I really like.
It's I mean, it's funny to see like the S&P and Nasdaq are down like 1% or 2 over the course of the last couple of weeks, and we're still sitting at all-time highs. When you go to a lot of large companies, I mean, are just absolutely destroying 30, 40, 50% just because of how big the companies that are actually holding up the market are. I mean, if
Yeah.
those sell off, who knows if we'll see further sell-offs on those companies, small caps included, or if they already taken a beating and we'll just see the larger ones dump. I mean, that money's going to go somewhere. So are you thinking it might flow into like crypto or metals, or
No,
where do you think?
I think crypto. Yes, I also think we're going to. So I'm going to make one bold prediction here, and I was going to ask you what you think happens with them this week. I think we see a little resurgence from Nvidia this week. I Their earnings, I think, are just going to crush it back to where it surprises even analysts again. I just see some of the money being spent with them right now. But I was curious what you would think that they would go there. Yeah, so I was kind of thinking big term that I think they get one more big push, and that does help the whole market get one more big run here, and then we go back to whatever normal is, if that's crashing down, whatever that is. But I think we get another big push here, and I do think it comes from Nvidia this week. I do. Maybe that's just hopeful thinking. You still with me, or is it me that's out?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think my headset turned off. I could hear you through my laptop, but for some reason it's using my headset audio. Where did I cut off there?
I was just gonna start dancing.
So I'm trying to. I don't know. Was I talking about Nvidia yet, or was I talking
Yeah,
about
yeah. So
S
that's
and
what I was
P?
going to ask. Yeah, I was going to ask you. Yeah, I didn't hear what you had said. Yeah, I'm curious. What do you think is going to happen with them this week?
Oh, well, yeah. So I was gonna say, first of all, I just don't see what's gonna push Nvidia, or sorry, not Nvidia, the market up past like 7,000. I mean, I think 7,000 is gonna be a hard stop psychological level. I don't see what would push us to 7,500, 8,000, anything like that. I think we're due for a healthy pullback. I do think we could get a run up to earnings on Nvidia, but I feel like they've just beat earnings too many times to where you need some absolute blow out of the park to get
See, and I
a
do think we
reaction.
get that now simply because what you had just said, I think we've been hearing that too much lately. Like I feel so there was obviously that 2 year run where every single earnings they did blow it out, right? And then the last year and a half or so, I've been hearing that a lot that, oh, they're just too good. They need to be able to blow it. I think it's time. I think they're back.
Okay. No,
I only
that's
say
good to
that
hear.
based on my own spending has gone up for AI. So
I mean, it's if you look at, yeah, graphics cards or anything, I mean, it's just so
I
expensive.
can't.
And
I tried. I expect to know. You don't want to know. It's
I mean, you have a new
it was 20% of what my house has cost.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was almost six figures, and I spec'd that stuff out. It was crazy.
And I feel like a lot of the talk is about, the wheel almost of revenue just going between a few companies where it's just billions and billions.
Seriously,
But for
yeah,
NVIDIA, that's real money. I mean, they're producing these chips, these graphics cards for AI, and I mean, that's real revenue that's going into their pocket. So even if it is circular, it's not like the dot-com bubble or anything. Like, these are real earnings. So
yeah.
I
They're at
don't
the
think it's
center of
gonna
the
always
circle.
be like that, but I think AI is kinda capped out possibly on some of the top things it can do for a little bit. So I do think we will get a pullback. I think the AI fear is real in terms of like forward-looking guidance. So I do think we're gonna pull back. Maybe not in the near term, but definitely over the next couple quarters. Which is why I really like, manufacturing, defense stocks, component manufacturers, things like just like hard goods that
Yep.
work in recession that are going to be needed because government spending is there. And that's why I'm kind of streaming away from AI and more into like physical goods.
Yeah. Yep, me too. And I always like that too, because for me, living in Milwaukee or Wisconsin, a big manufacturing city here. So like getting Oshkosh trucking, that's up 15% for me the last couple of weeks. And yeah, some of those defensive manufacturing ones I've been getting into. It's always nice when I do get to into them again because there are a lot of local companies that I get to invest in again when that happens. So
And I've honestly
I
been
hear you.
I've been pivoting a little bit to doing some day trading and like scalping as well. I've really been like honing in on that skill over the last couple months, just ever since the market got toppy. Because then every day, instead of being
Day trading feels safer, doesn't it?
what was that?
Day trading feels safer almost right now.
It does. It's weird. I mean, I'm working on like a guide for my specific strategy, but I have like tight stops with about a 3-to-1 risk to reward, and it's just been nice following that trend and making a little bit every day with everything being so volatile. Regardless if it's up or it's down, you can make money on that day, and of course you don't always make money, but it also helps me with over trading. So if I'm doing that I'm not buying a bunch of options and selling
Yeah.
things and buying leads on stuff. I don't worry about like on this on a day-to-day basis. I'm still getting all the news, getting all the updates, but then I can do something else on the day with trading instead of being impulsively buying maybe a leap if I think it's going to pull back. So it's helped with that too. It's just a good market for it right now with how choppy things are.
It really is. And I'm glad you brought up the shares and stuff like that. So many people losing a lot of money with the with options and stuff right now. Because you're absolutely right. I mean, almost all of my best trades so far this year have been something that I bought half an hour before market open. That was, say like Ondas was at 986, and it's going to go over 10 because of the slant that it had, or just those kind of stocks. Not necessarily
Yep.
meaning that one, but those have been all my best trades this year. I think BTG, Blue Gold, after their earnings on Thursday, they sunk like 15% and dropped below $5, but there was $2 million at the $5 put mark. It was easy. Yeah, those are the trades we're making right now. And you can be out by 10 a.m. and go enjoy your day.
Yeah, I think the issue is people are just going for these absolutely massive wins, and I mean, if you're just getting a 10%
Yeah,
win every
and
day, like
that's
that's gonna compound like crazy.
and trying to compound those massive that yeah, I don't know how to. That's one thing I have struggled with trying to teach other people. Like if I showed, I have one account that it would look amazing. It's at like 1,000% this year, but it's not compounded ever. I put the same amount of money in it on Monday, and I day trade with it, and I take some money out on Friday. This isn't a market to be trying. Yeah, those big wins and compounding. Of course, I say that, and somebody will become a millionaire tomorrow, and it won't be me. So
Well, I think the big wins, in in maybe the near term future, in the next 6 months, are going to come from shorting things. So I think that's hard for people. People like things when they're green. They like when they're going up. I
They,
think a lot of money can
I,
be made from going down. It's going to be a lot of people's first bear market. So it's going to be really different. I think a lot of ports are going to explode if they're leveraged, if you're in the wrong things. But a lot of money's going
I,
to be made for the people that can predict the drops on some of these
and I'm
stocks.
glad you said that because everybody's so terrified of leverage, and I mean, so there are a million forms of it, and options are one form of it, But yeah, I guess people are afraid of using margin, and that's one thing that I would happily buy 1,000 shares of Ondas at $9 on margin in the morning, half an hour before market open, then wait till market open and buy calls. Um, and be leveraged that way. Like by 9 a.m., I can get out of those shares if I want to. Sitting there stressing the whole day. Those big wins are great, but man, is it easier to to go for a walk and enjoy my dog? And yeah, good for the people that can do that. I mean, the WTFs, but
No, I'm in and out. I think Friday, I got my $1,500 target in about 3 minutes, and then signed
yep,
off.
yep.
9:30 open. We
But
got a
you're right.
15
That's
call.
the hardest thing to do. That is, if you could do that naturally, then you're one of the few people. I couldn't. I did have to lose a lot of money, numerous times. I was a habitual overtrader for a long time. So if you could do that naturally, that's awesome.
I think the thing is people who are maybe possibly trying to get into day trading. First of all, you want a partner or someone who has drive to succeed, and they can bounce the ideas off you and keep you humble, keep you focused, and keep you off tilt. And secondly, also starting with paper trading. Practice your strategy for a month or two, but take it seriously. The main issue I'm seeing with some people who are trying to learn is they will paper trade and then they will over leverage and make risky things to see huge dollar figures, and then when they go to live they lose all their money because they have no stop loss, they don't stick to a strategy, and they don't
Yep.
take that training seriously. So I think it's something that takes a long time to learn, probably years. I have a background in finance. I know you've been doing this for years and years and years as well, so I think it's something that's not really attainable for people that just get started out, but you really take it
But at,
seriously and
but at the
do it
same
every day.
time, there are days when these guys are doing futures, and I can't find it. Like I just don't see it. And the exact opposite days, like when institutions have control, like I feel that and I understand it. And that's when I jump in and everybody else is crying. Yeah, it just you got to find what your strength is, and what you're good at, and stick with that too. I think that's one of the hardest things is, I know all of the ways to not make money or to lose money. But I'd like to have fun discovering all the other ways to make it, and I don't need to do that. I get but I'd like to have fun with it. You know what I mean? But I remember what that was like when you're exploring. I mean, there are 1,000 indicators and 200 websites, and it's overload. It's tough.
And something else I want to touch on, just with that and the knowledge you have. I know you've been like amazing at creating different sorts of like bots for finding good like wheeling targets. Is that something that you ever think that you might license or add to your like Substack as like a paid feature? Like those,
Yeah.
because
So
that would be
I
amazing.
don't know if he's actually on here. I had a talk with Ravenclaw Friday. He talked to me a little bit, and so yes, it definitely is. One of those things I need to organize and get it all in one place, and
Mhm.
kind of started a dashboard or a portal. But yes, that's coming. Kind of got some motivation there. Within the next week, I am doing that, and that's what I did start doing this weekend with why I wanted to kind of get not the Bibles out, if you will, but this is how I'm going to be doing all this stuff that I'm going to be giving you moving forward, so that some of that does make sense, and include all that. So yeah, that is definitely coming.
Heck yeah. I know, like I in my Discord, I have like bots set up essentially for if it goes like -5, -10, or +5, +10, it'll give an alert. So essentially, that's like a tool being okay, buy or sell a covered call or sell a cash secured put, but it's only for the gem vault things. I thought it was really cool that your screener kind of shows like, okay, this stock is like a good wheel target, and then did it give like a certain like delta I should sell it at or a certain
So I
price?
think the way that I had set that, yeah, it was 10% below the price. It gave the strike price, and it was at least 1% ROC on it. So some of the other things that I put in there is like, just making sure that the 50 is over the 100 and the price is over. a little like you don't need the full EMEA stack if you're wheeling stocks. Like you can't expect to get the perfect stock every time when you're wheeling for income, but
Yep.
at least make sure like the 50 is over the 200, that it has an ADX of 20. Some of those small things, like make sure you're not going to get buried underwater next month. That
That's
it's
the confluences. Yeah.
yeah,
No, that makes
yeah. The confluence. There you go. Good. Yeah, I love that word, and I always forget it.
it's a great word. I mean, you need
Yeah.
it. You need it.
Trying to
Right at
make
the
it
beginning
use
of
it all the time. And I think that's why I forget it sometimes because like I didn't want to overuse it because it was always his word. So
It's always it's a popular word like day trade too. I mean, you're not taking a trade unless you have like 3, 4 confluences in place with just like technicals. But I'm whenever that's ready to go, I mean, let me know. I want to plug that on my channel.
okay,
Yeah,
I will do that. And it's so
you know,
fun.
no,
And
no.
I'm glad we're on live audio right now because I can just say it out loud and it won't be on record for that long. As much as I do the data and stuff, and what you just said, I there are a lot of times when I trade where I don't need confluences and I will just go with my gut. I ignore all of the data and I go right against it. I will be fully admit that I do that. So
And I mean, that sometimes makes a good trader. I mean, the confluences aren't always right. If it was always correct and all these things added up, I mean, there would be a perfect trader. There's not. No one's perfect. Not even Warren Buffett. Sometimes your gut is right, and especially if it's a
and
position that you're
sometimes
watching.
it's not at all. I still, I think I've told you before, my shame of stock twits, it was you idiots. I'll come back here when, you come back to reality. That was when Palantir was $45 and I sold it all thinking that it had run too high.
I sold it at 80, thinking the same. I
Yeah.
can deal with Ondas. That's staying. That's staying. We're not descaling that to at least 20 and 28 for those
I
warrants.
actually put 100 shares at the, God, who do they have at the transfer company? I don't remember who their transfer company is now, but I sent 100 shares to the transfer company just so I wouldn't trade them. That's one of my personal thing that I realized that, because I will always trade. I like trading.
Yeah.
It's just what I have to do to overcome it for myself. And that became more popular, I know, during COVID. People started doing that with their GameStop stocks, but
I actually missed that arc. I wasn't into like individual stock trading. I was only doing things with indexes during the 2020
yeah, and
craziness of that.
I was one of those. I wasn't institutional, if you will, but I was one of the ones shorting, and I didn't lose a lot, but they screwed me because I didn't think retail could do that either. So I was on the other side of that.
I don't think that's going to happen, a lot in the future now that institutions know it's possible. I think
Yeah.
they're taking it a lot more seriously and being like, okay, retail is actually a big force, so we got to be careful.
Yeah, well, and they've got a lot more eyes everywhere now. Yeah, after that woke them up to get their own spiders everywhere.
Do you think there's some on After Hour,
Absolutely.
some on Substack?
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Some of those people, they know what we're going to trade before we know because, I mean, it's no different than Alexa knowing you're going to buy toilet paper next week, based on it's just how it is. But it
We
was
should have
when
kept
I
Ondas
found out it was
quiet
the
then.
F100. What's that?
So we should have kept Ondas quiet. It's gotten too popular. I feel like I see it every day in the feed. It's just people putting it up, like hyping it up, and I'm like, I don't even know what the company does. So they're
And
sitting
I'm
at
glad you brought up Tron, by the way. So let me give you a little. So he's still the first other than Sir Jack, but the first person I followed on After Hour. So I've been following him the longest, and I really got to be friends with him last February, and it was over on us. He's like, "Oh, I found this little thing," and the options had just come out. We had bought $1 options. We had just looking at those, man, still makes me cry.
it was a different world back when you get it for 60 cents.
Yep.
I covered it at 3 and lost over 10,000 shares, I think. And now it ramped to 15. It's like, oh man. But
Yeah,
hindsight's
and
2020.
$4 I think was about mine there. That's okay. I mean, it's a great company. They're exciting. I thought Freeballer actually did a great job with that interview that he did. Eric was exciting. That was really fun. Seeing you guys' pictures down there, you guys all getting together in the real world. That was so cool to see.
Those are coming out soon. We got I think an hour and 56 minutes of one-on-one interview footage because we each interviewed them
Wow,
and some other stuff.
nice,
So that's taking forever to edit, but that should be out here. I'm hoping this week. Finally. I know that was
really
like end of
cool.
January. There's still some new elements in there that haven't been touched on in media and things that we got to get the okay with him that we can actually cover. With Eric that we can cover, but it should be good. It'll be
Oh, just as
exciting.
far as what you can actually.
well, we talked about a lot, so we got to make sure we don't, that it's all approved by them. Nothing crazy insider. We're not crazy insiders, but just we gotta make sure it's all good.
I get it. Yep.
Um,
And especially loose lips happen over drinks. You find out some things.
what was that?
No, it was just really cool to see you guys just getting all together and the community coming together like that. That was the coolest part about it to me. I mean, yes, it's a cool company, and you guys are talking about cool drones and stuff. That's fun. But just seeing you guys, come together like that was really neat.
We're doing it again. We might be going
Cool.
international, so more on that to come. I can't leak anything for that yet, but
Yeah,
we might be international or possibly in Florida for some other companies down there. If you know on what companies are there that I cover, but we might be down there to talk again, and then flying. I'll say Europe. I'm gonna say Europe. I'm not gonna say where in Europe, but we might be in Europe
okay.
for a different interview for some interesting stuff.
I'm going to be there for a solar eclipse this August. So
Well, we're going then. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know when we're going there,
I'll be in Iceland for that solar eclipse. So it'll be pretty cool.
oh, I gotta travel. I'm actually going to Florida on non-related business here in a couple weeks, but I haven't been. I've only been to Europe and the Mediterranean when I was going there on a cruise to Italy, Turkey, Greece, but I haven't really been
Uh,
to Far East or
I
Northeast.
love cruises, and that sounds awesome.
I've only been on one
It's
cruise, but it was
funny. I
amazing.
actually getting to Florida soon too. Meeting with a buddy of mine. I didn't realize that magic cards was so lucrative, and I actually stuck to. There's this ABI MTG Jason or whatever, and I was able to pull an API, and I actually started charting some magic cards, and you can start to see some trend lines on some of these. It's funny.
On Magic cards, really.
No, I'd never done them before, but you can when I started putting them because nobody's ever really charted them before, like properly. I can actually see some trends in some of these, so it's something I was going to experiment with one of these days.
I want to see it. I was gonna say, I thought we'd take a few questions and then for the next like 5 minutes and then wrap it up
Awesome.
here about
Yeah.
8:30 Central. So if you guys have any questions right now for me or Michael, if you want to throw them in the chat, we can just go through them. And also, if you are new to the live stream, if you could just hit that little heart next to the chat, that'd be awesome for our engagement. Those likes help these videos and stuff. So if you
And
do
I
like this
finally
kind of,
started looking at the chat. I see 307 who I absolutely love, about Rolls Royce without looking at any technicals or anything. It's funny, as much as I'm a data person, I do that so much. So I love you making that comment, man. It's sometimes you got to go conviction.
conviction's key, honestly. You got to really look at something, and if you actually put all the work in and believe, in yourself and that you did a good job and you kind of covered everything, conviction can be one of the best tools for finding undervalued stocks, especially small caps when they're pre-revenue. I mean, if it's
Can
like,
also
okay,
be
this,
one of the worst. I agree. I mean, people need more conviction. They need more than they need less. But I also want to caution people: don't fall in love with it either. It's
yeah,
still a company. It's still a stock. It's still human beings behind it. Stuff happens. It's all right. So, what are you guys looking to buy right now? Uh I mean, big term. I'd say my biggest ones, and I'm gonna go with the same answer that Tron gave. You have no idea how big of a smile he gave me last week. But Teradyne, man, it's my pick this year. And I would say MU as well. Micron.
Teradyne, I saw, wasn't that chart? That chart was crazy, wasn't it? Like, it was like 150 and now it's over 300 post earnings. Was that the one?
Yeah, and it's in a little bit of consolidation now, which it actually surprised me this week that it didn't get shoved back below 300. I expected consolidation, but I did not expect it at 310 at 315. I expected it at 290. So
Let's go
Waldo,
pull it.
Waldo says he's with me on MU.
That's a beautiful chart. Oh my goodness. This thing has just been moving over the last 3 months. I mean, are we thinking it's kind of topped out here, or you think it's going to keep running? I mean, you must think it's.
I mean, I do think so, but at the same time, it's hard to argue with that chart. And I thought the same thing. So there again, with this is where I still have some things to learn about retail momentum and this excitement. Like Palantir, I thought I had learned, and then Nvidia was another one. So Nvidia, I learned a little bit better, but I still let it go way too early. Yeah, I don't know if it really is, man. You zoom out some more, it still looks strong.
I was gonna say this 3 month chart specifically excites me. Just look at every single bullish fair value gap has just been retested and respected perfectly. I mean, you got this massive one here, retest, bounce, smaller one here, retest, bounce, even
Yeah.
here. This these fair value gaps retested, bounced. I mean, this is impressive. This is a really impressive chart.
Yeah,
Like just
the
showing
support
strength.
has just been phenomenal.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah,
this is
it's
probably the craziest
crazy.
chart I've seen. Oh my god, this is the 1 year chart. It's just this is actually like a perfect chart. This looks like S&P over the last like 20 years or something.
Hmm.
Wow. Every
Yeah,
single.
and I really and I mean, at least I kind of think that it has that Nvidia type curve, straight up to $1,000. I hope.
This is when I'll probably watch
And the
this at
same
my
stock split.
retirement
It's
account.
yeah.
That's insane.
And people don't really, they're not just robots either, right? Because they actually do a lot of the testing for NVIDIA, like some of the heat testing and stuff. I mean, it is the robots that do it, but like before NVIDIA ships their GPUs out, their stress testing is done by Teradyne. They put it through the ringer and make sure that they're not going to start on fire and all that fun stuff. So, and they kind of have their fingers in a lot of places like Broadcom that way too. So, but yeah, that would be my big pick this year. Waldo
So what
and
changed in
Micron that you
2023?
liked. So.
Was it just the AI market expanding? I mean, just like this double top here, it looks like it was having a rough time. But and then was it just what exactly changed in 2025 to just
I mean, I do think, I mean, certainly we've gone through space and AI and all that fun stuff. Right? So, I mean, robotics has got to have its time. But I really think that shift to hardware too, or the shift away from software, maybe is the way I should say it. Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, even look at their monthly. You could look at their 3 month chart and it still looks pretty good.
oh their 3 month and 1 year looked crazy. I mean, it's perfect. Every
No,
single
I mean, even the three
fair
month
value.
candles or 1 month candles, like almost every
Oh,
timeline you just I just haven't been able to find a whole lot that I hate about the company either. Their leadership is good.
that is ticker
So you're right.
TEM.
Yes, I mean it's certainly maybe a little bit swollen and due for a pullback. I guess that's where I still feel okay. It's a good company. It's got good leadership. They really, I don't know.
Also,
But
John, I was gonna say
Micron was
trading
certainly
view.
for a long time. They were undervalued for a long time. So I
I was
still like.
gonna tell John, use trading view is has free. You can use up to 2 indicators on there, and it's just a great website for charting. So yeah, trading view has free options. That's the one I would recommend. I was gonna do for my pick. I mean, so I have a few, but I would say
Yeah.
light path right now. Uh, I want to see a retest of this trend line, probably down near like 10.50 or $11. But they do have Investors Day this week on the 25th. If anyone listened to their earnings call, you'll know they didn't really give up much information. Reason being, they have a lot of defense primes they're working to provide black diamond glass for, so their lips are pretty tight on what they can say and what they can't. So they pretty much gave no guidance. I am expecting them to give us some reveals this week. So this would be like my short-term play. I think light path, unless there's some huge macro element that brings everything down. I think we are going to get some interesting information on Investors Day, and I am expecting this to possibly retest the top band or something around $15. So yeah, light path is one I'm definitely watching, either for picking up in the money leaps because they're out of the money. Leaps are very expensive, or possibly just shares or CSPs. But Gem Vault, I usually just do covered calls and catch good puts, sell side options. So I'm never really buying just shares. But in my retirement, this is something I might pick up more of, just because I am really bullish on them, and because they don't give guidance, I think that they are extremely undervalued. They provide. So that's my
And at
pick.
worst, that's a really nice bottom trend line since February 5th, since they hit the bottom there. I mean, you can draw a perfect line underneath that for selling put. So why the hell not?
Yeah, I mean, this is their 3 month. I mean, it's been a nice just bounce
Yeah,
off
that
of,
one right there.
especially my.
Yep. Yeah. Sorry, I took my eyes away because I was looking at my own. But yeah, about the same one there. Yeah, that makes it easy.
And yeah, they fell off like during the earnings call because there like was no guidance, and then it just immediately bounced off and went. So I mean, yeah, I think 9 is just a really good floor, and I think like 10.50 would be some really nice value. So Lightpath is one of my short term picks. Also Amprius as well. I mean, this thing, I remember I called out leaps on After Hour right when it was hitting this low, and this thing just went on an absolute tear for about a month and a half. Since then, it's been in a downtrend, and we have seen some retracement. I think it's at a good level now. What? Sorry, I have a little Substack window blocking my screen. Yeah,
Yeah, I just
950.
realized
I
my
might hit a
face was taking up
950.
the whole screen. So when I was looking at my chart,
Yeah, this thing, the Substack, I'm happy they added like screen sharing, but I think it's still platform they're developing. But
and
this, I
I
mean,
should have
if I
checked
can get
that
it.
out. I just was sprinting home from NA tonight. So
No, I appreciate you. You got here quick. I mean, I know we started a little bit late. Eventually, I'd like to get maybe we'll start like a larger group podcast, and we can have
yeah,
specific times we
that'd
can
be
meet. But
awesome.
for now, yeah, we'll be just doing it when we can on Sundays. But yeah, AMPX I like at 950. I will look
But what
for.
do you like? What do you know about? What do you know that I don't about them?
They recently were in a battery competition and with like 25 other companies and won. They make drone batteries specifically.
Yeah.
They recently partnered with an American company to bring their batteries to the United States that are NDAA compliant. We have the drone dominance thing that's about to happen with about 300,000 drones that are going to be essentially uh, bought by the Department of War over the next 2 years. So that's going to be, tons of batteries, tons of motors, replacements. And I think AMPX stands to win a good amount of that market share based on how good their batteries are. So I think this thing's undervalued. Analyst estimates have this at $17.80 for 1 year targets. Anything under 10, I think, is an absolute steal. I just think that it's possible we could trend down a little bit farther before bouncing, but it's the thing. It's okay. Do you want to, miss the run back up? So I think anything under 10 for AMPX is something I'm really bullish on. So this is another one I might try to pick up some
Considering I used
leaps.
to wheel them at $3 and $4.
Oh God, yeah. I
Yeah.
remember seeing Outlander on After Hours post about it a year ago, and I just never got in. And this thing ran up to like $16. I mean, that was a fantastic
Yeah.
call by him. Yeah, those would be my two picks right now.
Cool.
Um, let's
Yeah,
see.
I'll have to look into Lightpath more. I do like Empirics a lot, and I've been in and out of that a few times. I do have some long-term shares there too. Yeah, I really like that one. Yeah, somebody's gonna have to figure out I think I mentioned a while back, like AMT. I think might end up doing something too. Like somebody's got to figure out how to recharge all these drones. I mean, batteries are great, but they still gonna have to recharge before they get back to whatever home base. And I'm really interested to see what company may figure something out there.
I hope we find out soon.
Yeah,
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 it's a good
that's
time right
what
now with
I
the
mean,
market.
AMT's the only one that makes sense to me right now. But I mean, for all I know, it could be Walmart's. They could just put it on top of their stores or gas stations, McDonald's. Like, if I were to those places, if I had a big out real estate everywhere, that's what I'd be thinking about now is how to charge those drones, so they can deliver everywhere. It's so when you find that out, I want to.
One of the Ondas moats is like they have rechargeable stations that the drone will
Yeah,
autonomously fly back into.
yeah,
Some like Skidio don't have that, and they have to be caught by like a person. It's like, okay, what if the person calls out? What like who's gonna grab it then? Like, there's a lot of interesting
yeah.
moats with some of these companies. So
I
really
just,
about
I think of things like that because, like, where Tesla, regardless of what other electric car companies come into America now, they have the grid of the electric charging stations, right? So they're not going to die. It's just as far as that goes. At worst, they can sell those to somebody else. So just the things like that, I want to find out who's going to be charging on this. So. Yeah, because I did see that they have some of those portable ones. It's just, not all the customers are going to be getting all those, I guess. It's going to be somebody else is going to have that somewhere.
that's the thing we got to do is find these companies before they move. That's the whole thing I built my Substack on was just like, okay, I'm looking for undervalued companies that are going to fill a certain moat before, yeah, before they actually are there. And that's
Or
kind of
or you find or you find the people who are good at finding them. Yeah, I
yep,
just
yep.
follow you and Trump. I just use you guys.
Maybe that's the easier option.
I,
I'll
I,
save you
mean,
another
I
hour.
say that as a joke, but I'm not completely. I am not a drone expert. And I don't. I like them, but I am not. It's not my thing. It's. But I know it's your thing, and I know that you're smart. Like I know it's his thing. Like leverage the people around you, man. If it's not your thing, but I know that you have done your research. Like I know that he's done his. It's when I got 5 other people that have done their research and really like them, then I'm on board. It's
And that's the kind of, yeah, that's a great team and community to have. I'm excited to, do that more with as we get more people on for the shows and podcasts to bring in people from, crypto, from large caps, from mega caps, and just kind of get everyone's perspective. That's how you can build like a really, really great team and community, is just having a specialist from each field and then just, trusting each other
Yeah,
on
and at
what's
some point, I can when we can get some more. When you guys want to start looking at some executives on here, I could probably get some crypto ones in here for you guys too. So
that'd be awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll develop this. I mean, I think we could make this
Unfortunately, most
pretty
of them
quick
live on the East
podcast.
Coast where I don't live, but I can always make phone calls. So yeah.
I want to bring out a
Um,
whole like host of people, so that'd be awesome. We'll have to talk after. I
yeah.
think, I mean, wow, we've been going for 51 minutes.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, and I should probably get going. It's my kid's supposed to be in bed 8 minutes ago, so I should get going.
That's fair. Well, Michael, I appreciate.
It's been a pleasure, man. This is awesome. I don't know if it just cut off, but yeah, this was a whole lot of fun. Thank you for inviting me. All good. All right,
Can you
well,
hear me?
I'll do the day. Yeah, there you are.
I don't know what it keeps. My headset keeps shutting off. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, no, appreciate you having you, man. This is fun. We gotta just keep doing the joint Substack streams, and maybe we get on Ember or Tron, and I think we can have a whole conversation with 5 people or something. I think it'd be fun. So.
Yeah,
Um,
and Toronto, we probably don't even need to. We probably could have just pinged him and said, "Come on." We could probably just try
yeah,
that
yeah.
sometime. He's just as likely to come on then as he is if we plan it. So
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I do like that, just like the fact we can just hop on. It's a little
yeah,
informal like that too. But I think it's always fun to have some new thing to talk about every week as well. Just kind of get a new person's take on whatever they're seeing in their world. So yeah, this is awesome. Well, thank you, Michael. I really appreciate it,
yeah, thank
man.
you.
And
Appreciate
I'll
it.
talk to you later then. Thanks,
Yeah,
everyone.
sounds good.
All right, have a good night, everyone. Talk to you later.
See if I can figure out how to end this now.